Thank you so much for that, Anila. To start off the meeting, I think this is very inspirational because it's been a challenging year, as His Worship Nenshi said as well. And on the contrary to that, I'm proud that this team here, the collaboration that we created, I think, as I look at the minister, I think this team minister can take us to new heights and solve any problems that come our way, because we treat the obstacle as the way forward. And I'm really proud to talk about some of the early testing we've done through our data strategy. And together with government, civil society groups, and private sector, we're coming together to complete versus compete. And from a governance perspective, again, I would like to honor and thank the bold leadership of Minister Sani, yourself, as a mystery shopper as well, that you've known for, giving us iterative feedback, which is such a interesting feedback loop for us to improve. And you're also showing to us that it's okay to fail fast forward. It's okay to not know the answers, but go back to the drawing table, get the community's feedback, and then come back to the table. So thank you for that. His Worship Nenshi, if you're still on the line, thank you again for inspiring us. Chief Henry, congratulations on your appointment, and what a privilege to work with you on this response. And then, of course, Minister Mendocino. From an East Zone collaborative perspective, this wouldn't have happened without leadership, bold leadership from our chair, Anila, from Sam from CLIP, Sally from the TIES group, and Marichu from Action Dignity. And to give you a glimpse of what's happening, the transformational journey actually started a few months ago, where we decided, government, civil society, and all of us got together, and we said that we need to create a strategy where we could onboard and do planning for newcomers and have data so we could continuously iterate and come up with best-in-class solutions. So we also launched an app called Welcome to Alberta. And there's many other things in the technology space. But what I want to show you quickly is how we're iterating that process, which is supposed to launch 8 months from now. And we're doing beta testing right now for this initiative and producing some really interesting data sets that we can actually use to improve. So hopefully you can see my screen here. Just a thumbs up if you can see the screen. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So you can see like the heat mapping here. We can actually see the big pockets of where the clients are at. This helps us with the food hampers, with providing like supports to different classes of newcomers. Are they citizens? Are they PRs? And by the way, this is just like a draft mode I'm sharing in a Circle Trust. We're continuously improving this. We can now even find out who has actually been tested and who are not tested, and what is the result, positive, negative. This directly impacts the supports that government is creating through the isolation hotels. Looking at capacity, as you know, things may get worse, but this at least gives us a forecast almost to come. And finally, needs assessments and referrals. Both Marichu and Anila talked about the referral mapping. So the backbone of that, we're going to do some testing and iteration. And Sally from TIES is going to put her PhD into work and make sure that we can come up with some really good policy recommendations for the minister's office and for the city's office. I'm going to show you a little bit of dashboard of what it could look like in the future. This is data that we could have. We could, on the left side, you can see the rings. Who are the people that are being served in the Northeast? What kind of services are they requesting right now? You can see this is actually live data right now saying that most newcomers are asking for financial supports. Then there's a lot of newcomers actually are actually upskilling themselves. How cool is that? I know that the pandemic is upon us, but I think they're really upskilling so that they're ready for the post-pandemic economy and recovery. And of course, employment is there as well. And then finally, we can also now see which countries we are attracting. And this helps us with rapid translation of which documents do we need so that we can be adaptive and quick in reaching out to community. And then finally, I want to show you the latest heat maps we're generating where newcomers are. Now, most of us may think that we're in the Northeast, but you can see by this heat map that newcomers are settling in all areas of Calgary. And so this is a really interesting data. In the future, what we'll do is we'll have something like this where we can actually take the economic class and then see what each category of newcomer needs. And on that note, I just want to end off by saying that we continue to complete versus compete with this approach. And thank you again to all of you for attending tonight. And I think what's really cool is that Calgary and Alberta, other cities and provinces are learning from us from this exact same strategy. And at the same time, we are humble to say, actually, we don't know the answer sometimes. Literally, we feel like that day in, day out. But we're not afraid to take the feedback, improve, get back to the